I now call the January 5th, 2021 Finance Committee meeting to order at 6:45. First, we'll do consideration of claims. Chair would entertain a motion for the approval of the claims.
Your Honor, I would make a motion for consideration of claims to be paid in the amount of $401,027.67. Manual checks and paid in the amount of $14,685.69. Payroll and liabilities for December 18th, 2020 in the amount of $450,362.24 for a total of $866,075.60.
Second.
Thank you. Any amendments or discussion about the claims?
I have none, Your Honor.
Kyle, these large three sums, are they the end finish of projects that we've got, like the East Sunset and the Loop water line, etc.?
Madam Chairwoman, Councilman, as far as East Sunset goes, that should be our final payment. I believe we've done advertisement on it. Mia's pretty sharp. She's going to check it out. And then with Riverton Water Supply, we are anticipating one or two more payments on that one for the contractor, and we'll have one or two more for the consultant as well.
Okay. And then that one will be done too? Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Good job. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed. Is there anything additional that the committee needs to review or discuss?
I have nothing, Your Honor.
I have nothing, Your Honor.
Thank you. In that case, this meeting is adjourned at 6:47.
I now call the January 5th, 2021 regular council meeting for the Riverton City Council to order at 7 p.m. Councilwoman Borders will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, and I'll give it the invocation.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our dear, kind Heavenly Father, we're grateful for the many blessings that are ours. We're grateful for the opportunity of living in America and in a free society. We're grateful for those individuals that keep us safe from harm and accident. We're grateful for our police officers and our military, and we ask Thee to watch over them, that they might be guided and led to where they will be safe. We're grateful for the opportunity to receive new elected officers this evening, and ask Thee to bless them, that they'll feel comfortable in their assignments. We're grateful for the city of Riverton and for the citizens of Riverton. We're grateful for the opportunity to serve them, and ask for Thy Spirit to be with us, that we might make wise choices on their behalf. We ask for these favors and blessings, and we do it in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
I'd like to welcome everybody tonight. Appreciate your attendance. It's fun to look out and see all those friendly faces. Sometimes we don't have an audience. It's hard to believe. It is nice to have you. The very first thing that we'll do tonight is introduce the new elected officers and do the oath of office for those. And that's Kristy Salisbury and Lindsey Cox. And I'll come down there where you guys are, and we'll try to do it right down there where we can raise our hands and do what we need to do, okay? Here's a job pen. You raise your right hand. Do solemnly swear or affirm
I do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support and obey and defend
that
the
I will
Constitution of the United States
support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Wyoming,
and the Constitution of the State of Wyoming,
that I have not knowingly violated the law
that I have not knowingly violated any law
related to my election or appointment,
related to my election or my appointment,
or caused it to be done by others,
or caused it to be done by others,
and that I will discharge my duties in my office with fidelity.
and that I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity.
Congratulations.
I already got them. Thank you.
I want you to be facing this way in the bulkhead there. Smile. Let's finish in your feet. Got it, thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome, ladies.
I'm going to start with you tonight on roll call. Welcome.
Could I have your, Kristen, you want that?
Yes, please.
Just send it around to Kristen. Kristen gets all the paper. I'd like to welcome you to the council. It's a pleasure to have you with us. So try to feel comfortable. It's not easy to do. If you have any questions, just speak up. And so we now do roll call, and we'd like the city clerk to conduct roll call, please.
Yes, Your Honor. Councilman Corey Rhoda.
Present?
Councilman Kyle Larson.
Here.
Councilwoman Christy Salisbury. Councilwoman Lindsay Cox.
Here.
Councilwoman Carla Borders.
Here.
Mayor Richard Gard.
Here. The chair would entertain a motion to excuse Councilman Bailey. He's out of town on work.
So
So
moved.
moved. Second?
Councilman Larson has a motion, and Councilman Rhoda has a second. Any discussion? Anybody want to know what he's doing in Moreland? Guess not, huh?
It's on business.
That's what I heard. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Motion passes. I declare that we have a quorum present. The chair would entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
So moved.
I'll second.
Councilman Rhoda has a motion, and Councilwoman Borders has a second. Any council discussion? It's kind of a long agenda. Everybody okay?
Sure.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Motion passes. Communication from the floor from citizens. Anyone in the audience wishing to address the council regarding an item that is scheduled for a public hearing will be given the opportunity to speak during that public hearing. Anyone wishing to address the council on any other item may speak now. I would ask those individuals who wish to address the council at this time to approach the podium and identify yourself for the record. Seeing none, we will move on to the consent agenda. Would the city clerk please read the consent agenda items by title only?
Yes, Your Honor. Approval of the minutes, December 15th, 2020, regular council meeting. Approval of the minutes, January 5th, 2021, Finance Committee meeting. Approval of the Finance Committee recommendations for January 5th, 2021.
Thank you. Is there any items requiring further discussion?
Your Honor,
Yes.
Finance Committee met earlier this evening and agreed to consideration of claims to be paid in the amount of $401,027.67. Manual checks paid in the amount of $14,685.69. Payroll and liabilities for December 18th, 2020 in the amount of $450,362.24 for a total of $866,075.60.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
The council would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Councilman Rhoda has the motion and Councilwoman Borders has the second. Council discussion. Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Leadership ballots. Council President and Vice President. City Administrators report, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. At the beginning of each year, the council votes in a new president and vice president via the ballots that you have in front of you. Council president presides in the absence of the mayor, and the council president shall preside in the absence of the mayor and council president. Each member of council, including the mayor, does have a ballot. We will vote first for council president. Myself and the chief will take those, count them up, bring them back, direct, and let you know who the winner is, and then we'll do the same for vice president. With that, I would ask you to vote for your choice for council president.
We're really fast, Tony.
Yeah.
Mike, I see Kate just left. If you lost your ride, I'll give you a ride home afterwards.
Oh, she's
Oh, she's back. She's gonna give you a ride home.
Your Honor, Mike Bailey, selected. If you would vote for your, did we already do vice? Oh, if you would vote on your next ballot for vice. Your Honor. Corey Rhoda is selected as vice president.
Thank you. So what that will do is, President sits out here and Councilman Rhoda will sit here, Mike Bailey will sit here, and there's no other assigned seating, is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
So maybe Christie, when you want to, you can move as you choose tonight.
I tell other people.
You can try to tell people anything you want them to hear. Good luck. It's a little straighter, isn't it? It's not right at the wall. I've sat on that chair over there. The chair would entertain a motion to approve the mayor, council, committee appointments. City Administrator?
Yes, Your Honor. In January of each year, the mayor appoints city council members to boards and committees. There are currently 16 committee assignments, and each council member will be serving on approximately 2, with one exception being the mayor has more than that. The following committees the committees are listed within your packet, and sorry, let me get to the right page. The proposed committee assignments are as follows. Airport Board, Councilman Larson. Chamber of Commerce, Councilwoman Salisbury. Finance Committee, Councilman Rhoda, Councilwoman Salisbury, Councilwoman Cox. Force 1% Committee, Councilman Bailey. Fremont County Solid Waste Board, Councilman Larson. Community Engagement Committee, Councilwoman Borders. Edge Committee, Mayor Guard. Senior Center Endowment is the chair of the Finance Committee. County Commissioners Representative is Mayor Guard. Fremont County School District 25 Rec Board, 2 appointments are Councilwoman Borders and Councilman Rhoda. Fremont County Association of Governments, or FCAG, is Mayor Guard. PAWS is Councilwoman Cox. Tribal Liaisons are Mayor Guard and Councilman Bailey. Your Honor, it is recommended to council that council approve the proposed appointments as presented.
Thank you. The chair would entertain a motion to approve the mayor council committee appointments.
So moved.
Second?
Councilwoman Borders has a motion and Councilman Rhoda has a second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Motion passes. Municipal Court Judge, Alternate Judge, and the Court Attorney appointments. City Administrator's report, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. Pursuant to statutory requirements, the governing body may make appointments annually to the following positions of Municipal Judge, Alternate Judge, and City Attorney. These appointments are proposed as they already exist, being Municipal Judge Teresa McKee, Alternate Judge Aaron Vincent, and City Attorney is Rick Sollers. Your Honor, the rates have not changed from the previous year and are included within your packet. The alternate judge will serve in any particular case where the judge is unavailable or has a conflict of interest. With that, Your Honor, we see an impact of between $55,000 and $70,000 a year in these particular expenditures, depending on usage and the like. And we recommend approval of the appointments as presented. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. The chair would entertain a motion to approve the mayoral appointments for the Municipal Court Judge, Alternate Judge, and the City Attorney.
So moved.
Second.
Councilwoman Borders has a motion and Councilwoman Cox has a, thanks Lindsay. Councilwoman Cox has a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Motion passed. The Citizen Board Appointments, Community Engagement Committee, Construction Board of Appeals, Force Committee, the Riverton Rendezvous Committee, and the Riverton Tree Board. City Administrator's report, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. The city currently has 9 committees that are made up of community members. Those are listed within the provided packet. You have before you a proposal to approve members of the Construction Board of Appeals, the Community Engagement Committee, Force Committee, Rendezvous Balloon Committee, and Tree Board, without having to read all of those because I know it'll take more than a minute. Those are listed within your packet, and it is recommended that council approve the appointments of the mayor as presented, and we do extend our appreciation to those who are willing to serve on these boards, and they do a good job. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. The chair would entertain a motion to approve the mayoral appointments for the Community Engagement Committee, the Construction Board of Appeals, the Force Committee, the Riverton Rendezvous Committee, and the Riverton Tree Board.
So moved.
Second.
Councilwoman Borders has the motion and Councilman Larson has a second. Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Motion passes. Consideration of ordinance number 20-010, third and final reading, Wind River Internet franchise agreement. Would the city clerk please read ordinance number 20-010 by title only?
Yes, Your Honor. Proposed ordinance number 20-010 on third and final reading. An ordinance granting a non-exclusive franchise to Northern Arapaho Tribal Industries doing business as Wind River Internet, WRI, within the rights-of-way of the city of Riverton, Wyoming.
Thank you. The chair would entertain a motion to adopt ordinance number 20-010 on third and final reading.
So moved.
Second.
Councilman Rhoda has the motion. Councilwoman Borders has the second. Further discussion? Would the city clerk please conduct a roll call vote?
Yes, Your Honor. Councilwoman Carla Borders.
Yes.
Aye or nay. Councilwoman Lindsay Cox.
Aye.
Councilman Corey Rhoda.
Aye.
Councilman Kyle Larson.
Yes.
Councilwoman Christy Salisbury.
Aye.
Mayor Richard Gard.
Yes. Motion passes. Thank you. Consideration of ordinance number 20-011, third and final reading of the Riverton Municipal Code, update on the Riverton Regional. Would the city clerk please read ordinance number 20-011 by title only?
Yes, Your Honor. Proposed ordinance number 20-011 on third and final reading. An ordinance pertaining to all Riverton Regional Airport, Riverton Municipal Airport, and Riverton Airport references throughout the Riverton Municipal Code and repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict therewith and providing for an effective date.
Thank you. The chair would entertain a motion to adopt ordinance number 20-011 on third and final reading.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Councilman Rhoda has the motion. And Councilman Larson has a second. Further discussion? Seeing none, would the city clerk please conduct roll call vote?
Yes, Your Honor. Councilman Corey Rhoda.
Aye.
Councilman Kyle Larson.
Yes.
Councilwoman Christy Salisbury.
Aye.
Councilwoman Carla Borders.
Aye.
Councilman Lindsay Cox.
Aye.
Mayor Richard Gard.
Yes. Motion passes. Bid award for bid award police vehicles. Operations Division Manager, report, please.
Your Honor, members of the council, most of the council is familiar with this process, but we have 2 new members, so I'll give you a little rundown on how this works. By Wyoming law, any new vehicle purchase has to be bid. There's no exception. Any amount has to be bid. The only exception to that is if we follow the State of Wyoming's cooperative purchasing clause, in where another agency has bid the project, and my favorite word is we piggyback off their bid, which is, in this case, the YDOT bid 10 Highway Patrol Troopers cars, which are the same units that we would buy. You get a little bit more purchasing power going off of their bid because of the volume of the bid that they purchase more than we would. The city council approved one patrol car during the budget session in the amount of $51,000 for the total project. In early December, we lost a patrol vehicle to a blown motor. The vehicle has an excess of 100,000 miles, and patrol vehicles specifically with that many miles, it's really not worth our time to repair the motor. The vehicles are basically worn out at that point. So our recommendation would be to purchase two vehicles. We have the funding for the one available. The funding for the additional unit of $51,000 is a decision that you as the council would have to approve for us to move forward with both vehicles. I can answer any questions if you have any.
Thank you.
Your Honor. Oh, go ahead, Corey.
I've got a couple questions if I could. Mayor, if I may.
Please.
Right now, do the policemen generally have their own car? Are they sharing cars and just switching at shift?
Right at this point, there's two officers share a vehicle.
Okay.
We at this point only have one spare patrol car in the entire fleet, which is a 2010 Ford Crown Vic with 100+ thousand miles on it.
Carla?
Thank you. You basically just answered my question, just on the need for the second vehicle.
Okay.
Appreciate that. Any other questions? Thank you. The chair would entertain a motion to approve the purchase of two 2021 Chevy Tahoe police package vehicles from Fremont Chevy, GMC, and Buick in the amount of $74,402.
Second.
Councilwoman Cox has the motion, and second is Councilwoman Borders. Further discussion?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, and maybe I should have asked this earlier, but as far as the budget goes, is that going to make a pretty big impact? Do we have...
Tony?
Your Honor, Councilman, currently you are not budgeted for it. So with regard to process, to answer part of your question, you would ultimately probably have to amend the budget at the end of the year or at some point during the upcoming year. That would simply be to say we are going to authorize this additional expenditure. There is the potential for us to not spend everything that is within that line item, whether or not within the line item, sorry, within the actual police budget, which would then, you wouldn't have quite the same amendment. You wouldn't overrun the in-line as much.
Right.
Likely you will. However much that is still to be seen. We have a number of different items. If we haven't staffed all the personnel, there's money there. But if we fully staff, then that goes down a little bit as well comparatively. Currently, if we have to forecast a little bit, we have done a little better in sales tax than we had planned. We have done better on some capital projects and the like. Do I expect this to completely turn the budget over? By no means. That is not the picture that we have right now. As if that were the case, we wouldn't recommend the second purchase. But right now, we have had some, compared to where we budgeted, we've had some positive results. So we believe that this is still allowable.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
One question, Connor. So you already have the 51,000 out of the 74,000 allocated? Is that what you're saying?
Your Honor.
Or is this an additional 74,000?
Your Honor, and this is a good question because what we're proposing is that the new total allocation will be approximately 102,000. I'd see where you're talking about the 74,000. Each vehicle is approximately budgeted at $51,000. You have $51,000 within the existing authority of the budget, but you do not have the other 51. Council may authorize the total $102,000, which it's going to come in a little under that ideally. But you would authorize $102,000 at this point to buy both of those. So the other $51,000 is not within not within the current authorized budget expenditure. But your authority today is to allow that if you so choose.
The difference in that is that those vehicles have to be upfitted after we buy this. We're basically just buying the vehicles, and then the upfit is the additional amount of money. And that, you can watch that happen. They do that right down at the city shop, and our guys do that in-house. We also do it for the town of Thermopolis and others, and they pay us to do that. And it's kind of a fun thing to watch. It's extensive. These vehicles come in with a lot of parts missing. The back seat's not there, and the new back seat is a fiberglass back seat. It's not one you'd like to ride to Casper on. And they do a lot of changes, and they have to make a different wiring harness and storage compartments for those vehicles to secure weapons and those kind of things. So if you want to see that in action, you can ask, and they gave me a tour, so I'm sure they'd give you one. Okay? Any other questions? Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Motion passed. INBERG-MILLER Construction Amendment, Cowboy Lane. Public Works Director's report, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. Water quality issues were brought to the attention of the City Council in 2012 for the tribal housing near Cowboy Lane. At the same time, the City of Riverton was working on securing easements for the multi-phase Riverton water supply project. Consequently, the city did propose that in consideration of the necessary easements for the Riverton water supply project, the city would supply water to the tribal housing area adjacent to Cowboy Lane, and there is a map in your packet for you to reference. The Shoshone and Arapaho Joint Business Council passed a motion accepting this proposal September 12th, 2012, and the BIA finalized the necessary easements for both Cowboy Lane and the multi-phase Riverton water supply project on May 17th, 2017. As you know, the Riverton water supply project is nearing completion, and our next course of action in our capital plan is to fulfill our promise to build water, construct water lines, and provide water to the residents adjacent to Cowboy Lane. INBERG-MILLER was contracted by the city to prepare preliminary plans and cost estimates for this project in 2012. They were hired again in 2016 to prepare easement documents, and then also work through the cultural and environmental process required for the easements. This amendment before you tonight, Amendment 58, will finalize the utility design, provide construction estimates, and provide specification and contract documents for this project moving forward. Fees for this have been negotiated between staff and INBERG-MILLER and total $23,750. Costs related to this contract were not included in the fiscal year 21 budget. We anticipated doing this next fiscal year. However, there's a window to take care of it now so we can start construction in a more timely manner. The fees previously referenced will most likely come out of fiscal year 21, our current budget, and a portion out of next fiscal year's budget. There are sufficient unassigned funds in the water account to address this contract approval. Basically, these fees would need to be amended into the budget later into the fiscal year after its approval. But we do have sufficient unassigned funds, basically unbudgeted funds in the water account to cover this expense. And I'll stand for any questions that you have.
The chair would entertain a motion to approve Amendment 58 to the Master Service Agreement between the City of Riverton and INBERG-MILLER.
So moved.
Second.
Councilwoman Borders has a motion. Councilwoman Cox has a second. Further discussion? As Kyle pointed out, This has been a 11-year project, Kyle, something like that, pretty long. And there were some easements that we had to get to cross tribal ground. And this is an agreement with them to help extend that water line for that services. So the further we can push this forward, the better it makes our word and what we promised to do work. And so I appreciate pushing this forward and making it look like we're doing our job. So.
Your Honor,
Uh-huh.
I just have a question. Is it a good time to do that? Okay. I'm just wondering what water service they have now. Is it well water that's out there? Okay.
Yeah, they're on wells, and this would replace those wells. I understand the wells aren't really good wells either, so it would be a real benefit to get this done. Have I stated that correctly, Kyle?
Your Honor, that is correct.
Kyle?
What has happened is the wells have dried up. And the well people are having a great time drilling new wells, but what has happened is the surface water that supplied that has been reduced through lining of the canals. And so this is a neat deal to get an easement through the reservation, and you only get it by trading. They're not interested in selling or anything else. It's a trade deal, and it's a great deal for us, and it helps the city of Riverton. It's a good deal.
Thanks, Kyle. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Motion passed. Consideration of real estate listing contract amendment. City Administrator's report, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. In 2011, the city conducted a process by which proposals were accepted for firms to market city property within the airport industrial park. So up by the airport, we've all driven up there plenty. Since that time, 5 lots have been sold. 2 lots were sold in 12, 1 in 13, and only most recently, we had 2 lots sell in the last year after some amendments to the listing and listing those prices. And that's been over the last year, that's been a very positive change. Each year, council considers an annual extension of the existing agreement as it is proposed, as they have for the last few years. The same proposal is put to you with all the same matters, including price, percentages, and listings that are, so they would have Home Source, per this addendum, continue to do the work that they're doing right now at the same rate they're doing it. Ivan Judd from Home Source is in the audience, I believe. Yep, over there. If you have any questions of him, he has been our realtor and we've worked with him. At this point, it is recommended that the addendum be approved, and we would happily answer any questions that you have.
Thanks, Ivan.
Ivan Judd, Home Source Realty. And again, congratulations to the new council members. Good luck, goodwill. Yeah. Be glad to answer any questions.
We have some thoughts. Ivan's proposed some changes. We have some long skinny lots, and he's wanting us to look at some property breaks in those, so maybe we turn them into 2 lots. And I'll get with him next week or shortly after, and then we'll bring those things to the council. But we're trying to move those lots. It's not the city's job to be in land sales, and so we're trying to unload all those. We're trying to unload all those lots as fast as we can before the state takes them back from us and keeps the money themselves. So we're trying to build a fire under Ivan, and he'll get the job done for us. So we appreciate that. Okay?
Yes, thank you.
Any other questions?
Just one, if I may. Mr. Judd, I seen we sold 2 this year. Do you see an increase in people looking at the property?
Fielded a lot of calls from everywhere on these. They're light industrial lots, so that's the primary use that's targeted. But several of them are from Casper. that have come and look at the lots. There's been 4 light industrial lots that have sold this year. The other 2 were down off South Railroad Avenue. Pacific Corp bought those and is moving part of their operation down there. But yeah, there's been a lot of activity in all realms of real estate across Fremont County and Wyoming. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. We do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The chair would entertain a motion to approve the contract agreement extension, the extension for listings for the period of December 31, 2021.
So moved.
Second.
Councilwoman Salisbury has the motion, and Carla, did you second
Yes.
that? Thank you. Councilwoman Borders has the second. Any further discussion? Ivan, I do, just this last week, had a conversation with a gentleman that would like to see some listings on industrial lots, so when we get together, I'll bring his name and email address with me, okay? Thank you, appreciate it. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Motion passes. Resolution number 1424, designation of official depository. Financial Director's report, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. Statutorily, the City of Riverton shall designate official depositories by approval of the governing body. This is a necessary arrangement that must take place upon the appointment of a new governing body or the election of a new governing body or the appointment of a new clerk. So resolution number 1424 addresses the applications received from our local financial institutions that are requesting to be named as an official depository of the City of Riverton. We have received applications from Central Bank and Trust, First Interstate Bank, U.S. Bank, Wells Fargo Bank, and Wyoming Community Bank. And at this time, the staff does recommend that the City Council approve Resolution 24 designating these banks as the official depositories for the City of Riverton.
Thank you. Would the city clerk please read resolution number 1424 by title only?
Yes, Your Honor. Proposed resolution number 1424, a resolution designating official depositories for the City of Riverton, Wyoming, requiring joint signatures on all orders for payment of money from city accounts and designating certain individuals as signatories and alternate signatories on city accounts at said banks.
Thank you. The chair would entertain a motion to approve resolution number 1424.
So moved.
Second.
Councilman Rhoda has a motion, and Councilwoman Cox has a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Motion passes. Resolution number 1425, designation of legal paper. City Clerk, report, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. Resolution number 1425 is a resolution designating the official legal newspaper for the City of Riverton as required by state statute. This is something that has to be designated each year. The Riverton Ranger is the only printed periodical that has the basic standards required by statute to meet such designation. With the approval of resolution number 1425, it will ensure that the city meets the statutory requirements for the publication processes. I would also like to point out that the city staff strives to provide transparent and current information to the public, not only via the required means of publication, but also through the city's website and the city-sponsored social media outlets. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. The chair would entertain a motion to approve resolution number 1425.
So moved.
Second.
Councilman Larson has the motion. Councilwoman Borders has the second. Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Motion passes. Now we're down to reports and comments. This is the fun part for all you new guys. So we'll go through, each one of us gets an opportunity here to report on your committee assignments. And so we'll try to get you the times and dates and places of those meetings so that you can put them in your schedule. And then this would be the time that you'd come back and give us a report on those committees that you're involved with and what they need and what they are asking for, their difficulties and those types of things. Okay? So you two want to report on your committees?
I have nothing to report.
So we'll just skip to Kyle then, if you guys don't mind. Kyle?
Me?
Yeah?
Okay. The two committees that I have been assigned to, the first one is the airport. And the airport is close to my heart because I love flying out of Riverton and being able to come back and get in my car and drive home and be in my bed in 25 minutes versus the alternative, which is fly into Casper late at night, dodge the deer through Shoshone, and get home at 1 o'clock.
He wants you to speak into your mic.
Okay. Never been, when I was in high school, my English teacher told me that I could whisper louder than most people talk. So that's, anyway. My second committee, I always call it the garbage committee, but it happens to be one of the single most cash-sucking place that we've got, and that's dealing with our solid waste. And the most interesting thing about that is in 2016, the Lander landfill was scheduled to be closed come hell or high water in 2024. Whether they had enough space or no space, it was going to be closed. End of discussion. The reason for that was political. They have plenty of space, and in 2017, after the election, amazingly, it had space up to 2039. Just like that. And so all of the plans that they had been doing were like, can we get the landfill? Can we take the old baseball field? Can we dig up something in Riverton and send over there so that they don't waste their space? So I am looking forward, since we've had a change of shirts from red to blue, and to see what the political will do with the landfill. There is no reason to worry about it because we have a landfill out at Sandral, which is estimated to 2050. So don't worry about it. We got plenty of space. And their price has come down. When Councilman Guard sat over there, it was probably $114 a ton, and he wanted to ship it to Cody, where it was $80 a ton. Now we're down to the $80 a ton after attrition and streamlining over there in Lander. And so we are doing quite well on compacting garbage and not making mistakes like the station we have down at the Riverton Center, where we bought a compactor. We didn't figure out what it would cost to turn the machine on. The electricity for that compactor is outstanding for PP&L, but for the solid waste, it's a real killer. That's all I have, Your Honor.
Thanks, Kyle. Corey?
Yes, Mayor. So January Monday, the 11th, we will have our Fremont County School District Recreation Board meeting. That will be at the main office, 121 North 5th East. We ask that any grant applications be dropped off at the office by 5 o'clock. And what we're asking this year is they're not going to do an open quorum. They just ask that you have a liaison prepared to answer questions if we need to call. Again, that's going to be January 11th, this coming Monday. The deadline is 5 o'clock for those applications. The Finance Committee met earlier today as well, and there was not a whole bunch to report there. We're just about done on a couple of payments, but and then I know the Community Engagement Committee has not met, but we did have the tree lighting, and I believe they'll be meeting either January 14th or 15th. That is all that I have at the moment. Your Honor, I do want to welcome our new councilwomen to the council, and thank you very much for having me as your vice president. Is an honor, so thank you all.
Thank you. I'm going to leave that alone, so Councilwoman Borders.
Well, I don't have a lot to report. I have been assigned to the Fremont County Rec Board, which I'm really excited about, and the Community Engagement Committee. I started out on that committee before it became that. It was the Parks Committee, and I'm really excited to get back to that. I also just want to mention how wonderful our holiday season was with the tree lighting and all the activities going on, and it's just amazing to watch all the great things that are happening here. CES had their Festival of Trees. They sold all the wreaths. I don't know an exact total yet, but so it's just really nice to be here and be from here and see all the great things that are happening.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Tony?
Thank you, Your Honor. Again, on behalf of staff, we welcome our new councilwoman. It's nice to have you, and we look forward to working with you. Your Honor, I have very few items with coming off of the holiday season. We do have a force meeting on Monday, this coming Monday at 11 a.m. There, as most of you know, but the new councilwomen will learn, we sometimes have a work session on the second Tuesday. Lately, we haven't had need of those, so we don't have meetings we don't need. We do not have one planned for this coming week, so at this point, we do not have a meeting planned for this coming Tuesday. But there is an airport board meeting also next Friday. And that's going to take place here at 8 a.m. And the public is allowed to attend if they so choose. So it will be in this chamber.
Coming Friday.
Your Honor, Councilman, no, next Friday. Not this coming Friday, the following Friday. Both the Force Committee and the Airport Board are next week.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry for that. Your Honor, with that, I have nothing else significant to add.
Thank you. I had the opportunity, and I do every Monday and Thursday, to be on the call for the Fremont County Emergency Management Group. And that's the group that talks about the vaccinations and the virus situation that we're in. We had a substantial drop in numbers last week, and that's looking a whole lot better. We've got multiple locations set up to put the virus out. Our problem is we don't have as of the Monday call, we only had 400 vaccinations in county, and so those come in on a as-need basis, and we're trying to get as much as that as we can get. We had 300 of Moderna, and maybe it's the other way around, 100 of Moderna and 300 of Pfizer. And so as we get those, we'll be pushing those out. We have covered the spectrum. We've offered that to all law enforcement, all first responders, down to hospital workers and the sheriff's department. Sheriff reported that he has right at 194, 95 employees, and only 15 of his employees wanted the vaccination. So that's where they're at with a lot of those, and so they're working their way through the list. That list I find some problems with that because I want them to go directly to the point of impact of who needs the vaccination, and I think we're getting there, but it seems to be slower than I would like to see that happen. And so I think what we really need to concentrate on is our elderly, and we are in stage B at this point, which that is anyone over 70 is eligible to receive that vaccination, and they'll be making lists and putting that information out, and they're doing their very best, but they can't proceed until they get more doses. So that's where we're at with that. Fortunate enough to be on the EDGE committee. I kept a few of the committees for myself that I really liked. I don't know if that's the right way to do it, but that's what I did. So that EDGE committee is the ones that are in charge of the new half-cent tax, and they do a really good job. We'll have another meeting this coming Thursday night, or is it Wednesday?
Be the next one, be the third Thursday, I believe.
Okay. I thought I wrote it down for this coming week, EDGE. Check that for me, if you would. And then I'd like to talk a little bit about the airport. Kyle's extremely correct about that. We are really, really fortunate to have what we call the FAST Committee. And the FAST Committee is supported by many, many other facets of funding. And so Mr. Martin's in the room tonight, and I appreciate their help on those, the airport. We have scratched and clawed and managed to maintain that airport, and we really owe that to that FAST committee that's been so diligent. I added up, and I believe that it was on the 26th, I sent Kyle a message, and I added up 1,400 passengers, and he pointed out to me that that's both directions, and I really don't care if it's coming or going. I like both. And so we were really fortunate. He did point out, Kyle, you got better numbers. You're tracking 700 plus.
Your Honor, I can look up the official number, but we had over 900 employments at the month's end. That is our second highest month for the calendar year, which is pretty impressive as we've been battling the impacts of COVID-19.
That really is impressive, and not all airports are doing as well as we are, and we appreciate the help from our FAST committee. That's where it starts, and they've got their hand in everybody's pocket, and we appreciate that. Ernie sits on that committee, and so that's one of those committees that we really, really do appreciate, and we're fortunate to have that airport, and it really does enhance the whole county. So those are the only things. I would like to take a moment and welcome both new council women to our council, and I know that you'll do a wonderful job. I appreciate your willingness to serve, and I think lots of times we have a tendency to forget that we are a service organization and that we provide a service, and that by doing so we will receive some complaints from time to time, probably more complaints than we will receive rewards. And so I would ask you to be responsive and timely with your responses to the citizens, and make sure that they know that we'll do whatever it takes to solve their problems. The existing council members, I know that they do that on all occasions. I can call and talk to you guys. I appreciate the work that you do. It's not easy, and so we couldn't do it without you. So I appreciate what you do. I really do want to thank all of the members of the community that made this year's Christmas activities fun and fall activities fun, and I think we're turning the bend. There's lots of work that needs to still be done, but there's a lot of really good things happening in Riverton, and I appreciate the efforts that are made and the hard work that's done. I think back on the balloon rally, 40 years we've been doing that, and right in the middle of this pandemic, we managed to get as many balloons as we've ever had, and it was just a lot of fun. And so Eric was a part of that, and appreciate his effort to push those forward. City staff does a wonderful job, not always easy for them, and takes a lot of time and effort. And so I want to tell everybody how much I appreciate working with them through the year and look forward to the new year's opportunity. I can't say enough about our police department. I called New Year's Day, kind of got myself in a little bit of trouble. I sent the police out on an assignment New Year's Day, and Sergeant Nations was just more than glad to do it. And I saw his car moving where I asked him to go. Somebody, I don't think it was Sergeant Nations, it was another officer, but I got kind of a disappointed response for that. And I got to talk to the citizen after, when I returned his phone call on Saturday. And before we were done, he's moving to his company to Riverton, and he's going to try to use Riverton as a base and a hub to cover 5 other states. And so he would like me to help him find a warehouse and a place to put some things, and we're going to do that. And so I just can't tell you enough how much the police department is vitally useful to the city of Riverton. And I appreciate the attitude and the work that you do. And I've missed the chief. Somebody said he could go and take a few of his days that he's already stacked up. I think he's stacked up a bunch of days. We'd miss him for a year if he took them all. But I appreciate what you do, and I appreciate your officers.
Thank you.
There's one other story that Sergeant Nations told me. I went into the police department, and I had to get Megan to sneak me in, and I couldn't find anybody last week, and the only guy I could find was Sergeant Nations. And I told him what I needed, and he was quick to say he would take care of that. And then he said, Mayor, can I tell you a story? And I said, sure. And he was out on a walk down Haymaker Drainage, just on the north side of the Honor Farm. And there he spotted 2 gun cases. And he picked those gun cases up and brought them back into the city. And I believe he told me the value for those 2 weapons was around $7,000. And he could have taken those home and put them in his own collection, which would have been a real temptation. They were stolen some time back from another citizen in town, and they just discarded them and dumped them in that drainage. There was some rust on them, not a whole lot of rust, and they'll do their best to put those back in the hands of the rightful owner. And I think that just speaks to the quality of police officers that we have. And that's the right thing to have done, and I appreciate his efforts. And so if you'd commend him for that, Chief, I'd appreciate it.
Yes, sir, sure will.
Without any other comments, we don't have any executive, do we, Tony?
Your Honor.
That's good. You're doing your job. Thank you. If no objections, and how objections work, you can actually object to adjourning if you choose to. So any council member could.
You might get strangled.
Could come at your peril, but if no one objects, we'll stand adjourned at 2 minutes after 8. Thank you.